back to another episode of Ark Survival Evolved. Today we're going to answer the age-old question of should you put turrets inside your wall? And what I mean by this is, what you see here is we've got a honeycomb wall. You'll see multiple sets of walls here, and we got some turrets in here. There are 8 total turrets of each type. We have 8 regular turrets, and we also have some heavy auto turrets. I've also set up this back line directly behind the wall as to see if this is a beneficial setup. Now you might be like, well, this is stupid. I mean, that's just an extra section sticking on the back of your wall. Well, and what's with these foundations? Well, these foundations are actually going to give more stability alongside these ceilings. These ceilings are going to give a connection to the foundations if something were to happen, holding the wall together better. So, quick tip, this is really all you need. The ceilings were installed afterwards just for the fact you might try applying ceilings further up. This was just basically to see if a rocket penetrated the first wall, if the damage would splash really, but also if these guns would be available still after the wall had been broken open. So that's why we did that. But you can see here we've got these foundations. These foundations give this wall so much more stability. I have made some other videos on the wall itself. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm going to put a link up in the there's a card popping up here in just a second. Click on it and check it out. But overall, it's going to give a lot more structural stability. Now, we're going to hit this with 2 different weapons. We're going to hit it with C4. I'm going to try and put the C4 on the left side while I try and do rockets on the right side. So we're going to load up with a rocket. And I don't really know where the turrets are, so I've got to kind of fire. And I know it takes about 3 rockets to penetrate a thing of metal. Is it 3 or is it 4? Oh wow, 5. Oh my god, my numbers are all bad. Alright. What was that? Okay, so I believe there was a turret in this one, but I'm not quite sure. What we're going to actually do is we're going to blow every panel off the front here and see if there happens to be a turret. Okay, so far what we can see is the heavy auto turrets have survived the rocket barrage, but we're not done. Uh, Obviously, and some of these, they took kind of random amounts of damage depending on where they were hit. It seems like the explosion will go through, because I blew one of the walls out, I believe, and like I took this one out, and then I didn't come back up, and you see it's got 13,000 health. This has 14,000. These turrets will hold up against a rocket blast, so that is good news. That's some really good news. And the reason why this is such great news is it's not really rocket turrets that we're scared of, or we're not really scared of rocket launchers at this point. But you know what really hurts? A guy with a tech rifle shooting these walls. If you need something to engage that guy with the tech rifle and maybe kill him, put him down before he manages to blow through multiple turrets and stuff, a good heavy turret could engage that guy at long range, provided he is close enough, because I'm assuming he's going to be close enough to get a good aim, and when the wall falls down, he will be shot. Now, granted, a tech rifle would have the same issue with the auto turrets, but the auto turrets aren't going to survive nearly as long. You could definitely try that, but otherwise I could still use a rocket. These things are kind of a more anti-tech guy, unless he's shooting from a real long range. But so far we've just got those, but we still need to go ahead and check a few things. So we're going to go ahead and use the C4. And I'm really worried I'm going to destroy this foundation. Well, it's not even damaged, so that works even better. So we're going to click this and blow this up. Oop. Alright. Just wondered, did C4 damage that? No, C4 didn't even touch it. So because it didn't have a line of sight, we're good. Alright. And I'm just going to go ahead and play C4 on all these. Now, I believe it takes 2 charges, but I'm not sure. If it just takes 1, it takes 1. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, there were 8 turrets of each type. I spawned in 8 of each type and placed 8 turrets. You can see the auto turrets were completely shredded. The heavy turrets survived, and survived remarkably well against C4. Apparently, I kept most of my heavy turrets over here. It looks like we might have lost 1 heavy turret. There we go, got that back up. So, that's kind of neat. We did lose 1 heavy turret, because there should be only 2 heavy turrets on that side, and we had a total of 8. Yeah, so we did lose 1 heavy turret. Well, that's kind of a shame, but, you know, I mean, it's what it is. Let's go ahead and go back to the rockets at this point. Let's find out where these turrets are, and let's put some more rockets through. Maybe with the chambered explosion, we'll see something different. So there is a turret there and a turret there, and it's on the 2nd level. So we're gonna, because we know where they're at, we're going to put rockets in right where they're at. All right, rocket 1, rocket 2, and see, this could blow out the floor below the other ones. Which knocked out the floor because the whole section fell. Nothing was supporting it, so that makes perfect sense. Alright, and this one was actually hidden between the joints, and you can see it took 14,000 damage. Well, it's got 14,000 health left. This one right here, which has not been damaged, the wall has been minorly damaged. We're going to go ahead and put some rockets in the room with it. Alright, so that killed the turret that was in our way. So 1 rocket just really wipes out turrets. Although I think that one actually had 7,000. You can see the explosion is carrying over pretty far, damaging other structures. The turret didn't even feel anything by being behind that 2nd wall. I don't understand it. That's a little weird. We might have to do a retest on that just because, but I will have to go through and rebuild to make sure of that. Well, actually, we can test with these auto turrets here. Parking them further back might have been what happened too, because they are parked near the back versus these guys. So let's find out. Okay, so we did lose that auto turret. That one was at the joint. Now, just like this one was at the joint. These both took damage. As you can see, 10,000 health out of it versus the 20,000 on that guy. This turret was completely destroyed. And it even killed this turret that was over here. So any sort of penetrating rocket hits is going to kill the turret. We had 1 auto turret that survived. We're going to go pick it up real quick. Oh, did we? Did we have any regular auto turrets that survived? No, we did not. Okay. So anything even stored behind it, unless it's a big turret, you're going to have trouble. Now, I am going to go ahead and spawn another turret, put it right here in the center. All right, we're going to place that turret right here and see what happens if we engage it with a rocket launcher. And try and blast it, knowing that there's a turret behind there. Or let's say we don't know, we're just trying to punch holes. Well, let's see if the rocket's bleeding through. Nope, by no means. The turret still has 3,000 out of 3,000 health. I could have swore they only had 100 health at one time. Maybe they buffed. Alright. There we go, and yeah, it didn't even survive. Try one more. I'm gonna park it near the back. As far as we can. See if that changes anything. It didn't help it at all. Parking it near the back didn't help, but that might have actually been because multiple plates were missing. We're gonna try one more time. I'm gonna reinstall. Okay, so the wall is much more secure now. We're gonna go ahead and get out that rocket launcher again. Or we're just gonna get another one. Alright guys, so we got our next rocket launcher here. And the auto turrets are parked right behind here. I want to say this is the one that's further back, and this is one we really want to test. Yeah. So let's say we're punching a hole through. And we weren't this lucky, but we were still lucky enough to make a hole. I was lagging half. Any damage to these turrets yet? Okay, so they're not feeling anything yet, which is good. One of our heavy turrets did break. Okay, this one right here. Check out the turrets behind, see if they've already broken or not. Have they taken any damage? Because this next rocket's going to go right on through. Yeah, right on through. It did damage, and even though they were that far back. That really does suggest something here. That if you are going to put turrets in your wall, make sure they're heavy turrets. Don't put light turrets in the wall. You're wasting your time. Light turrets belong on top of the wall. Heavy turrets belong inside your wall. As they punch holes in, they'll get a special surprise because they'll be firing their rockets, and the next thing you know, that turret will unleash its bullets. What will this do for you? Well, it will make it to where the enemy will not be able to just waltz into your base. That's the biggest thing. They like to drain turrets, and to drain turrets, they need dinos. Well, they're going to run up on dinos. Well, if they've got to come up and break the wall, what's going to happen is that first turret that they open up, and you can either do random ones or you can maybe you have a small base and you put the turrets up like this. Basically, what's going to happen is they're going to open the wall, and then they're going to get surprised with the turrets. To be haha surprise, and they're killed. So guys, in a nutshell, what I can really suggest here is that you leave that back plate open like I've got right there where you can see where I'm seeing through at the turret. Leave the back plate open on your honeycomb wall. You don't have to have that layer of ceilings behind it, but make sure you leave that back plate exposed to where they can all the turrets can engage inwards and engage any threat that happens to pop inside the base. Leaving yes, a defensive turret that can shoot outwards is good, but that means they can always pull out their bullet soakers, and once they've soaked enough bullets, which it is most of the time, most people don't have that many bullets, so it only takes so much time to drain their bullets. Most bases do not have every turret completely max filled. It's very rare to find a alpha tribe even with all the turrets max filled. They just lead you to believe that. Uh, so basically, putting that front plate though, cover it with metal so no one can see where the turrets are placed, and then also at the same time keep those turrets from firing outwards. Let them fire inwards at the base, and every time they blow open a section of the wall, they'll be very surprised when they run into turrets that are shooting them. They may kill the player, may cause them to drop their gear, which means who knows, maybe you can salvage their rocket launchers and stuff, and who knows, maybe even prevent them from continuing their raid. They may have to stop on their raid. Other than that, it will take time for them to go ahead and do that. So it's going to take them much longer. Who knows, maybe you can actually get on and maybe prevent the raid, because most raids are done when you're offline because it's easier. So that's kind of what it is. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. You all take care, and I'll catch you next time.